I have never in my life been an antisocial. But for most of it, it certainly has seemed like it, and in many ways still does. So this video isn't made to transform you from an antisocial human being into a charismatic extrovert, but to make you realize that at the end of the day, you're a human being, or as Aristotle would call you, a social animal. So it's kind of in your blood to want to talk to other human beings, to want to shake hands, to want to make eye contact, to want to exchange names. It is who you are. Because if you didn't want to do that on an intrinsic level, you would be nobody. You would not even be considered a human being. That's the basis of my argument with this video. So I have a list of notes, and we're going to go over them. This is entirely my own process because when I was little, let's say like 7, 8 years old, I loved public speaking. I loved all types of social events and stuff. I liked speaking with people, but it was still seen as an antisocial because I just did not know how to do it, how often to do it, or basically how to do it. So, I'm not promising you that you will become an extroverted human being by the end of this video, because in many ways I'm not an extroverted human being and a lot of people aren't, but I'm promising that if you actually kind of follow my steps and kind of follow the crumbs I'm setting for you, something will emerge in you that you will like, and that if you actually follow through with, it will transform you into something that you prefer as juxtaposed with the person that you currently are. And most importantly, it'll make you realize that you actually love talking with people, because that is what makes you human. So, the first thing that you need to do is to meet some people if you haven't already. One of my favorite things to do now, because I've been doing it for, I don't know, a year and a bit now, is to just shake hands with every single person that I interact with. Let's say at school, let's say on the street, let's say in every single event that I encounter in day-to-day life. If I talk to a human being, I shake hands and I ask their name. That is the very base, that's the base foundation of what makes you a sociable human being. If you don't have it all goes down the drain if you do not have the balls to say, "What's your name?" "Oh, nice to meet you." "I'm Elias Pisot," or I don't know what. I don't know what your name is. You do not copy my name. Do not steal my identity with this, but say your name. "What's your name?" I'm happy to meet you. Nice to meet you. I don't know who. That's the base. That's the base of it. You can do absolutely anything without actually being able to go up to a person. And of course, I need to, for the people that don't have common sense, or for the people that are just a bit too excited with this, or that have a lot of courage in them, there needs to be a little bit of a pretext with this. You don't want to go around and jump scaring every single person that you encounter, asking, "What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?" Because that's what gets you put on a list. I'm going to be very clear with this. You do not want to be seen as the local creep, that local school creep, whatever zone it's limited to, that goes up to every single person with no pretext, with no proper context, and asks, "What's your name?" I'm I don't know who. No. You want to actually add a little bit of eye contact before. You want to look at them, and you want them to look back at you. If they're not looking at you, well, wait, maybe. I don't know what to tell you in that situation, but if they're not looking at you, I have no goddamn idea. Just look at them, and if they look at you, smile. Maybe they smile. If they don't smile, they're probably antisocial. I don't want to say too, because nobody's antisocial. A little bit more introverted. And then go ask their name. Because if they're not even looking at you, and as another rule of thumb, do not go up from behind them, because you just look like a goddamn stalker. Just go up in front of them and ask, what's your name? After actually having set up a little bit of visual interaction, maybe even after having said hi, and they say hi back, and you go up to them and ask what's their name, and it's so fine and dandy, and it's such a beautiful experience after that. But that's basically the only exception to this rule. Each time that you talk to another person, ask their name, because you can't imagine the amount of times I have interacted with very cool people, have not asked their name, and thus, because they do not know my name and I do not know theirs, we can't feasibly say hi to one another when we pass by one another. If you interact with someone for 30 minutes, that's not enough of a justification to say hi when you pass by them. And this is when it comes to school or work or in places and environments that you will re-see people in, that you will see people again in. That's not enough of a reason. You also need to know that name. You need to actually obtain as many names as possible and be as good as remembering names as possible. That's a core social skill, and I'll be talking about this a little bit later. Second step, I have notes on my computer. Sorry for looking at my, what is it for you? Left? It's my right, but for you it's left, whatever. The second step of my journey was just staying around people, just dipping your toes into the vast ocean of social interaction without actually putting any skin into the game, without actually risking embarrassment or whatever. After you have actually met a couple of people and you know that a couple of people kind of like you, then follow them into their social circles and repeat step 1 with every single person in that social circle. And then, if you do this for, if you do this 5 times, you already have 15 people that maybe sympathize with you, that maybe would give like a penny for you to not fall off a cliff in a hypothetical situation, maybe, just maybe. And maybe some of them will even like you. And if you do this enough, certainly, I wanted to say, maybe some of them will like you, as long as you smile, as you repeat their names. And here, I want to recommend 2 books, because this video is basically just telling you to go shake hands with people and follow them into their social circles, but that is nowhere near enough in order to actually become a sociable human being. So I don't need to tell it to you. Read How to Win Friends and Influence People. Read it religiously. Read it every single month. Test yourself with what it tells you to do. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Get an edition of it, write on it, do everything that you can. And if you want to be a little bit more theoretical with this, if you want to be slightly harder text, read 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. It has so many great practical tips when it comes to social interaction and stuff like that. How to stand in what situations you need to stand up for yourself. There are 2 pretty polar opposite books, self-improvement books, but both of them are, and that's why both of them are necessary for you to become a sociable, smart human being in general. What did I want to say? Let's look. Yeah, maybe some of them will like you. Yeah, and you need to actually filter through this. If you just stick to a couple of friend groups, you probably will get tired. If you stumble into a friend group that is filled with alcoholics and smokers and people that you do not want to replicate in your day-to-day life, get out of it and find another friend group, because you're ultimately going to become the people that you surround yourself with. That is the danger, the danger in actually being a social human being, though, because the more social you are, the more influenced you are with by other human beings. And I'm telling you to be social, because if you actually surround yourself with the correct human beings, you'll be more like them. And everybody wants to be more like a good human being. That's basically the entire philosophical goal. And finally, on my journey of not being an antisocial, drumroll please, is realizing that there is nothing wrong with it in the first place. We are all antisocials and we are all very extroverted people. It depends on the mood. It is a state of mind. Just like heaven and hell are state of minds and not places, so are introvertedness and extrovertedness, I think they're called state of minds. They're not, I don't think they are personality types, because some very extroverted people can be absolutely introverted in some situations, and some introverts can be very extroverted in other situations. But there are also some people, and I do not want you to be like them, that is why I'm making this video, that are not extroverted at all, that are probably going to die without any acquaintances. There are people that die every single day, and they do not have any close friends, and they do not have any acquaintances, let alone close friends. It's awful, and you do not want to die like that. I'm pretty sure you do not want to die without anybody thinking about you, or without anybody to actually find your body. If we want to get a little bit darker, no. Yeah, you can be an introvert. Yeah, you can be a complete extrovert, but there is nothing wrong with being the with kind of how can I say this? Alternating between the two phases, from the two points, the two extremes. Because yeah, of course, you don't want to be too extroverted, and the point of this video, you don't want to be too extroverted. Every person knows this. And you don't want to be too introverted. That's why I'm making this video, so you can die with people knowing about you, with people being worried about why you're not responding to phone calls, stuff like that. You want people to know about you. That's why you want to not be antisocial. And how was I going to finish this video? So, see this video as a stepping stone. Yeah. See this video as a stepping stone, because shaking hands with people and following them into their friend groups and filtering through friend groups is not enough to be a people lover, which is the motto of this channel. So, Jesus, I completely lost track of of the poetic ending to this. But being a people lover, which is the motto of my online personality, doesn't stop there. Wow. So if you want to keep eternally growing like a celestial rose, Jesus, goddamn pretentious, Jesus, pretentious little kid, doesn't even speak English that well and tries. Read the books that I have recommended, and read the authors recommended, and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy the project that I'm currently trying to endeavor in, of rebuilding the humanities, because it's something that we are really taking for granted. Rebuilding the humanities, social science, and human love between us. So yeah, just as some food for thought. So send this to someone you love, and I will see you later. I put my full trust into you that I will see you later. I'll see you later.